Good morning. Welcome to this thankful Thursday and this absolutely super September. So let's go for our learning. Let's go for our Pixie programming. Let's go for our manifestation with our affirmations and power them this very morning. Without further ado, let's start our Pixie programming. Thank you, Rahul sir, for the music. Yes, I'm a winner. How wonderful. Once again, let's start. Yes, I'm a winner in this wonderful game of life. So it is. So let's have a volunteer for the day. We will start with Luca Tino. We will today read two lifestyle practices. And yes, thank you, Mitu, for offering to read. And today's the first practice we're going to read about is drinking structured water. That's lifestyle number 55. So yes, Mitu, let's start, please.
Drink structured water. We know the importance of water, but what about the quality? Even packaged bottled water has been found to contain traces of pesticides. City water can contain heavy metals, antibiotics, and fluorides beyond safe levels. Unfortunately, this is the world we live in, and your water could slowly be poisoning you. The best way to structure your water is by adding lemon and Himalayan pink salt. You can also have water infused with pieces of fruits and vegetables. Avoid adding chlorine to your water as overexposure can cause immunity issues. There is a lot of debate whether RO water is healthy as it may be devoid of vital minerals. If an RO is necessary to filter your water, you should drink out of copper jugs and cups.
Let's understand the science of water. Firstly, water is beautiful by itself. It's structured. I don't know how many of you remember when back in the 80s, the water used to be boiled and then chante the. They used to say calcium. And then chanki, we were drinking it. It maintained its vitamins and minerals. But nowadays, everyone has RO. Now, RO is depleting the water of its very beautiful quality, especially the ones that heal our body. That is the reason why it's okay to use RO if you're using. Absolutely, that's fine. But if possible, start adding some pran in it. What kind of pran? Pudina leaves, probably like a full thing, maybe dhania leaves, maybe just lime pieces, maybe any kind of fruit, kiwi, any kind of fruits that you want. or if nothing else, at least the pink salt. So now green sense has a beautiful pink salt, Himalayan pink salt is available, lemon is available. Then what are you doing? You're giving structure to your water. Also, I'm a strong believer of energetic water. So I have stuck affirmations on my water bottles. So each time I'm having it, I read that affirmation, I bless my water, because that is the water which is going in my body. 70% of my body is water, right? Everyone's body is water. So that's very beautiful. Also, it's very important to drink out of copper jugs and mugs. I'm not just saying you can. I think we should do it, especially in the morning. At least half a liter of copperized water is important. Not too much, not too less. So you put your water in your bottles before the sunset in the prior day and let it beautifully copperize and then have it in the morning and see the effects of it later. You're like investing in your body. So water is very, very, very important. And today it's all about that. So let's turn the page and read the next lifestyle. Triphala powder is very beautiful. Again, Triphala is very nicely given by Green Sense. It's not very nice to taste, but now what is it doing for us? Let's understand the science.
Use Triphala powder. This can help you detoxify and facilitate weight loss. Triphala is an amazing natural Ayurvedic powder that helps keep the large intestine, small intestine, and stomach healthy and clean by flushing out toxins. Triphala also helps boost metabolism, improve immunity, lower cholesterol, and prevent microbial infections. It tones the issues of the colon and thus helps the body eliminate waste products, remove excess water, and reduce bloating. This is why it is known to help with constipation and inflammation of the digestive tract. The best way to consume this is by mixing 1 level teaspoon in a glass of warm water before bedtime.
So now again, many of us clear our stomach very, very easily in the morning. If you think it's 100% clean, great. But you wouldn't even be shocked to know that even your feeling of 100% clean also has left a lot of kachra in your body, which is full of toxins. Now, if you just introduce Triphala in your life, which is it's Ayurvedic, organic, it's not something which your intestines will get used to, you realize that you're flushing out so much more toxins and a lot of your health factors will improve, be it diabetes, be it anything, be it thyroid, everything will start improving once you do this. So tomorrow we'll talk about overdoing exercises and about food. Today it's about these two. Thank you, Bhuvan, for reading for all of us. Let's now move on to the power of now. So in the power of now, we have been talking about enlightened relationships yesterday. And yesterday we embarked on another chapter where we're talking about beyond happiness and unhappiness, there is peace. So when we start labeling ourselves, okay, this is where I'm happy, this is where I'm unhappy, then we are putting ourselves into boxes. The minute we embrace them the way they are, that is when you and I'm changing for the better. So very important to understand. Now, today we are going to be reading about the end of your life drama. So all of us are living a Leela, right? We've been talking about in every day the manifestation and the meditation that we are in a cosmic Leela. We are all doing some kind of a drama in our life. Whatever we are doing is drama. Now, the end of your life drama, how do we understand? What do we construe out of this? The question that was asked to Eckhart was, in that state of acceptance and inner peace, even though you may not call it bad, can anything still come into your life that would be called bad from a perspective of ordinary consciousness? So what is ordinary consciousness? Can someone tell me by now? Anybody who knows? Yeah, Shelly, nice that you're drinking infused water with copper. Great. The next question I asked is, what is ordinary consciousness? So all of us are in the pursuit of increasing our consciousness, right? Now, people who are not in our being in now, okay. And what else? Ordinary consciousness, what we see, okay. Awareness, yes. Ordinary consciousness is just living life the way we are with whatever limited knowledge we have. And it's just that sometimes you're conscious, sometimes you're not conscious. And sometimes you're aware, sometimes you're not aware. What is consciousness? You're consciously aware of being right now. And that happens when you're on a spiritual path. The ordinary consciousness is prevailing all the time in all of us, even if we are students in the morning batch. And yet, if in the day we're letting life run through us for whatever reasons, and we're not pulling ourselves back in the power of now, we're living a life with ordinary consciousness. Now, the question, which is very beautiful, in that state of acceptance and inner peace, even though you may not call it bad, can anything still come into your life that would be called bad from a perspective of ordinary consciousness? So let's understand the answer. Bes Bhuvan, please.
The end of your life drama.
Just read the answer, please. Most of the so-called. Thank you.
Most of the so called bad things that happen in people's lives are due to unconsciousness. They are self created, or rather, ego created. I sometimes refer to those things as drama. When you are fully conscious, drama does not come into your life anymore. Let me remind you briefly how the ego operates and how it creates drama. Ego is the unobserved mind that runs your life when you are not present as the witnessing consciousness, the watcher. The ego perceives itself as a separate fragment in a hostile universe with no real inner connection to any other being, surrounded by other egos, which it either sees as a potential threat or which it will attempt to use for its own ends. The basic ego patterns are designed to combat its own deep seated fear and sense of lack. They are resistance, control, power, greed, defense, attack. Some of the ego's strategies are extremely clever, yet they never truly solve any of its problems, simply because the ego itself is the problem.
How many of us relate to this? That ego itself is the basic problem. When you and I'm doing anything from this world of ego, we are bound to go wrong, because that time we're not the observer, that time we are not the watcher, that time we are not in the conscious awareness. When we're not conscious, then we are going to just go wrong. Now, ego comes with a lot of baggage with it. When ego comes, I, me, and am come. Oh, I'm the supreme. I can do this. I can do that. And then a hostility filled environment is induced around us. Because when I'm talking that language of I, me, and am, others around me are like, what the hell does she think she is? The basic ego pattern was designed to combat its own problems, which has all the seeds in in our embedded fertile brain. Now, when I have ego, I'm going to be resisting. I'm not going to be open and receptive. When I have ego, I'm going to be trying to control all of you or whoever around me. I will think I am powerful. I'll get more greedy for money or for love or for whatever. Greed is greed. Even to eat, even to drink, even to party. Greed could be for anything, or even to be known in society. Greed is a huge word attached with a lot of things. And let me tell you the hard fact, and when we are not running from our higher consciousness, we are all greedy for something or the other. I'm not saying it's bad to be greedy, but too much of anything is really bad. So greed in itself is bad. Ambition is different, greed is bad. So don't correlate the two. You'll become very defensive. Oh, what I said is right. You have different perspective. This is what I think. And you start attacking people who are not in alignment with you. And these are ego strategies, and they're going to make you go down, down, down. At the moment, you will win a fight when somebody is coming out of the ego world. Later, you will realize that you are the one who's lost. The one who was quiet has won quietly because he or she was understanding and not operating out of this world of ego. So that's one thing we should personally try. It should become an endeavor for all of us that we should try and work from a consciousness, and consciousness and ego will not come together. So let's understand what happens when egos come together.
When egos come together, whether in personal relationships or in organizations or institutions, bad things happen sooner or later. Drama of one kind or another in the form of conflict, problems, power struggles, emotional or physical violence, and so on. This includes collective evils such as war, genocide, and exploitation, all due to massed unconsciousness. Furthermore, many types of illness are caused by the ego's continuous resistance, which creates restrictions and blockages in the flow of energy through the body. When you reconnect with being and are no longer run by your mind, you cease to create those things. You do not create or participate in drama anymore.
So let's understand very clearly. Now, they have given examples of institutions, organizations, personal relationships. So, if there's a difference in leadership, there's a difference in being autocratic. Democratic is different. Now, when I am a leader of my country per se, and I have a particular notion that, okay, this is how it's correct. For example, I want, because we're in India and Hinduism is pretty big here. So, we are a secular country also, but some people believe it's a Hindu country and that's how it should be. If I believe in that and the others don't believe in that, what's going to happen? Struggle, competition. I'm going to say something, it'll be misconstrued. It'll become larger than life. Then what will happen? Emotionally challenging. Physical violence, conflicts are going to happen, arguments are going to happen. Now war is going to happen, exploitation is going to happen. We have been, seeing all this from time ages. It's all about ego. And the people who work from oneness, there's never any problem. We've had so many leaders who worked from oneness and they have elevated the mass consciousness. So, what should we all be doing? Working on oneness. There's nothing called religion, there's nothing called society, there's nothing called. If we have oneness for everyone, we will neither be sick physically, mentally, emotionally, nothing. And that is when the energy flow will keep going beautifully in our body. That's when there will be no blockages. That's when there will be no arguments. There will be no retaliation. There will be no rebel. There will be no drama because you are connected with that oneness. And when you operate from oneness, you will realize that you are creating magic in your life because there's no room for drama. When there's no room for drama, there's only room for magic. So this is happening when you're shelving your ego and keeping it aside. All of us are in what? In by society trained to become egoistic at some point or the other. Even a small little child has ego. मुझे तो ये toy चाहिए ही चाहिए, चाहिए ही चाहिए. It just becomes this personal issue that he wants it, so we are going to be giving it to him. नहीं मिलेगा तो he will throw his weight around. So the best way to do about this is talk to him or her, raise his or her consciousness so that he is adept to open and receptive to hearing what you have to say. To everything, a conversation is a beautiful idea, a mindful, heartful conversation. Remember one thing, all of us want to be listened to. So the minute we start listening to the child or the person, you are creating a environment which is conducive for growth. And that is most important. So in that environment, there's no room for drama, there's no room for ego, and we are going to become amazing. Let's read a bit more about this element.
Whenever two or more egos come together, drama of one kind or another ensues. But even if you live totally alone, you still create your own drama. When you feel sorry for yourself, that's drama. When you feel guilty or anxious, that's drama. When you let the past or future obscure the present, you are creating time, psychological time, the stuff out of which drama is made. Whenever you are not honoring the present moment by allowing it to be, you are creating drama. Most people are in love with their particular life drama. Their story is their identity. The ego runs their life. They have their whole sense of self invested in it. Even their usually unsuccessful search for an answer, a solution, or for healing becomes part of it. What they fear and resist most is the end of their drama. As long as they are their mind, what they fear and resist most is their own awakening.
What do we understand from these two paragraphs? Whenever two people or more people come together with ego, the drama just increases many, many folds. Even somebody who's living a solo journey, even his life is full of drama, his insecurities, his shortcomings, even their drama, because he's not realizing that he's coming from a world of love and light. And when there's no love, then of course there's lack of love. When there's no light, then of course there's darkness. And that's when he's allowing his ego to run his life. Now the entire life will become a sham. Why? Because he doesn't know where to operate from. And when he doesn't know where to operate from, and it's all about darkness, obviously there's resistance, obviously there's fear, obviously there's insecurity, obviously the inferiority complex. And when that's happening, you're full, you're fearsome, you're resisting, and you're far from awakening. But there comes a time when knocks and shocks of life become so much that you're pushed towards awakening. Now, what is happening? Let's understand further.
When you live in complete acceptance of what is, that is the end of all drama in your life. Nobody can even have an argument with you, no matter how hard he or she tries. You cannot have an argument with a fully conscious person. An argument implies identification with your mind and a mental position, as well as resistance and reaction to the other person's position. The result is that the polar opposites become mutually energized. These are the mechanics of unconsciousness. You can still make your point clearly and firmly, but there will be no reactive force behind it, no defense or attack. So it won't turn into drama. When you are fully conscious, you cease to be in conflict. No one who is at one with himself can even conceive of conflict, states A Course in Miracles. This refers not only to conflict with other people, but more fundamentally to conflict within you, which ceases when there is no longer any clash between the demands and expectations of your mind and what is.
Very beautiful. So the minute we are in a complete acceptance and harmony or whatever's happening, and we start seeing stuff that everything happens for a good reason, life listens to you every single day. Sankalp cha siddhi, you must have heard. Your intentions is manifesting into whatever you're saying. So the power of words is so important. What are you saying? If I say all the time, this is for its best, whatever's happening has a reason, and I trust the process of life, life becomes responsible for your life to unfold. Then you've given the power to somebody else, and that somebody else is a very high energy. And that is when there'll be no reaction from your side, which is negative. So what you'll get back is only positive. And that's when magics happen. That's when miracles happen. Because even if you have a conflict and then you're saying, okay, this is for a reason. And that time transformation happens in that particular thing that you've been resisting. So then you're depleting yourself of anything which is a resistance within your body by saying that I'm in complete harmony, I'm in unison with Mother Earth, whatever's happening is beautiful, and I accept everything the way it is. The jada, the root cause of problems is we can't accept whether it's ourselves, whether it's our life, whether it's other person or the lifestyle or something. Acceptance is not there, so the drama is there. The minute acceptance comes, that same minute ego goes, and the same minute magics come. The minute acceptance comes, there will be no longer any clash, anything, because you say you're flowing with life. Then you're just ceasing to create that so-called expectation. Remember, whenever there's expectation from any one of us, you are going to be in a stressful position because you want to complete that thing. Why do children feel so bogged down by parents' dreams and goals and ambitions about them? ये पूरा नहीं करेंगे तो that person will get hurt. So I must outdo myself to prove papa or mama or my husband or my children or somebody. Expectation is a killer. So yes, to create goals is important, very, very, very important. And to flow in them by giving your integrity, being committed is important. But to derive something by saying this must be done could be very beautifully used as could be done rather than should be. We've talked about this power. Please choose your words carefully. Please end the so called drama in your life by learning to accept, by learning to flow with Mother Nature, by learning to trust the process of life. That's when the ego goes for it just packs its bags and goes away because we accept everything the way it is in full harmony. And that'll be the time when your life will become just about amazing. Now let's talk about the impermanence and the cycles of life. Let's read it.
However, as long as you are in the physical dimension and linked to the collective human psyche, physical pain, although rare, is still possible. This is not to be confused with suffering, with mental emotional pain. All suffering is ego created and is due to resistance. Also, as long as you are in this dimension, you are still subject to its cyclical nature and to the law of impermanence of all things. But you no longer perceive this as bad, it is just is. Through allowing the isness of all things, a deeper dimension underneath the play of opposites reveals itself to you as an abiding presence, an unchanging deep stillness, an uncaused joy beyond good and bad. This is the joy of being, the peace of God.
What do we understand by this isness word? What is happening? The minute we realize that life has a cyclical nature, morning must become night, night must become morning. If there's birth, there will be death, and vice versa. As long as in this physical dimension where we're living as humans, we're living in this particular realm, and now the human psyche is all about accepting who we are, then there will be no suffering, then there will be no ego, then there will be no resistance because that's what we've packed them and kept them away. Now, in this beautiful nature, when we realize the law of impermanence of all things, nothing is permanent. This moment we've read this page number 152, next moment will be page 153, nothing is permanent. What I've spoken right now, somebody tells me also, speak for the same expression, same, I can't, I won't remember unless and until I've done it by heart. Nothing is permanent in life. And when you no longer perceive this as bad, it just is. Then what are we doing? We're living in the power of now. We're allowing everything to be as is. And this isness of all things takes us in a deeper dimension where we're learning that a lot of stuff happens in life and there is absolute stillness because life is causing ups and downs, and that is how it's meant to be. And when we enjoy downs and ups the way they are, then we are truly living in the now. We are being humans. We are finding oneness. We are in peace. We accept the higher power. I'm not saying that all of you become God fearing or God loving or whatever, but you will realize that what is God? It's a supreme being that's giving us the love and light energy. That's it. So you don't have to really put an image to it. And when you find that presence, life takes a new form. Yes, let's talk about birth and death.
On the level of form, there is birth and death, creation and destruction, growth and dissolution of seemingly separate forms. This is reflected everywhere in the life cycle of a star or a planet, a physical body, a tree, a flower, in the rise and fall of nations, political systems, civilizations, and in the inevitable cycles of gain and loss in the life of an individual. There are cycles of success when things come to you and thrive, and cycles of failure when they wither or disintegrate, and you have to let them go in order to make room for new things to arise or for transformation to happen. If you cling and resist at that point, it means you are refusing to go with the flow of life and you will suffer. It is not true that the up cycle is good and the down cycle bad, except in the mind's judgment. Growth is usually considered positive but nothing can grow forever. If growth of whatever kind were to go on, it would eventually become monstrous and destructive. Dissolution is needed for new growth to happen. One cannot exist without the other. The down cycle is absolutely essential for spiritual realization. You must have failed deeply on some level or experienced some deep loss or pain to be drawn to the spiritual dimension. Or perhaps your very success became empty and meaningless and so turned out to be failure. Failure lies concealed in every success, and success in every failure. In this world, which is to say, on the level of form, everybody fails sooner or later. Of course, and every achievement eventually comes to naught. All forms are impermanent. You can still be active and enjoy manifesting and creating new forms and circumstances, but you won't be identified with them. You do not need them to give you a sense of self. They are not your life, only your life situation.
So let's understand very clearly. We've talked about the cycle of life. Everything comes and everything goes. That's how it's meant to be. Now, even success cycle, some days it's good, some days it's bad. Not every day can you be just having fantastic new heights in business. You will see ups and downs. In fact, if you keep seeing highs, you'll become so pompous, arrogant, egoistical that life will correct itself and give you a shock. And you'll come back on Mother Earth and you're like, oh, yeah, I need to awaken myself. Nothing is good, nothing is bad. In fact, they've said so beautifully that if it's too much of growth, it'll become monstrous, it'll become destructive. You can't imagine a tree growing, 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 growing. Where will it go? So it's growing in a different way. Even a human body. Imagine if it's growing every day, like from 0 to 18, yeah, you're having physical bodily changes in terms of height and stuff. After that, the height becomes common. But what's happening is your cells are regenerating and destructing. They're both, there's birth and there's death and life, and even your cells, the trillions of cells, are reinventing themselves. Now they're again and again bringing us back to the fact that the down cycle is absolutely essential for spiritual realization. I've mentioned this a couple of times before. Usually you're here, all of us are here because of some spiritual realization, because of some knocks and shocks of life. Or life has been so beautiful that we just felt, Are, kuch bhi nahi hai yaar. There's nothing. It's meaningless. It's empty. You just feel nothing, something is missing. And that something is missing is making you and me come for the spiritual journey. So let's understand this is important for our evolution. If there is no bad, then we can't value the good. So let's enjoy our life the way it is, be in the moment. Let's be active. Physical energy is important, mental energy is important. Let's continue to manifest for ourselves, for people around us, for the world around us. Let's create new forms and possibilities. Let's identify with them, knowing that they exist and they will exist. Let's have a sense of oneness. When you have that, you have a beautiful life that you're creating. Remember, every moment is a moment of creation. Let's read further about a physical energy, how that is also in place.
Your physical energy is also subject to cycles. It cannot always be at a peak. There will be times of low as well as high energy. There will be periods when you are highly active and creative. But there may also be times when everything seems stagnant, when it seems that you are not getting anywhere, not achieving anything. A cycle can last for anything from a few hours to a few years. There are large cycles and small cycles within these large ones. Many illnesses are created through fighting against the cycles of low energy, which are vital for regeneration. The compulsion to do and the tendency to derive your sense of self worth and identify from external factors such as achievement is an inevitable illusion as long as you are identified with the mind. This makes it hard or impossible for you to accept the low cycles and allow them to be. Thus, the intelligence of the organism may take over as a self protective measure and create an illness in order to force you to stop so that the necessary regeneration can take place.
Very important to understand this. If you and I am overworking, anything overworking, we're not in tandem with Mother Nature, what's going to happen? Unfortunately, the body will create some circumstance that you're forced to take rest. When you're overworking in the offices and you have like mental, you're exhausted, what will happen? You'll just fall to sleep. Your body's giving you signals. Remember, we talked about the power to listen. When you listen, life is becoming beautiful. You will have high energy days, low energy days, and that's okay to accept those also. It's all right to accept those. The minute you don't accept them, that's when you're becoming a little stagnant in your energy. You're like, ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. हो रहा है because your life is telling you it's time for you to relax a bit. But yeah, if that's going on for too long, you've got to push yourself, you've got to nurture yourself, you've got to have a sangha who's there to have your back. Sometimes you have to force yourself to get out of that comfort zone also. That's also there. But remember, the intelligence of the organism is taking over when you need to be protected. That's when things are going to get manifested, diseases are going to come. Some short term illness will come. Even if fever comes, it's coming to slow you down. Just saying, come on, rest. And that's the time when your body says, I don't want to eat. But what are we doing? We are putting in food, and that is not supposed to be. So please go with the flow. Please go with the language of your body. Please learn to listen and please be in this beautiful nature, the cyclical nature of the universe, which is always prevalent. Believe in it, follow it, enjoy it. Yes, let's read further.
The cyclical nature of the universe is closely linked with the impermanence of all things and situations. The Buddha made this a central part of his teaching. All conditions are highly unstable and in constant flux, or as he put it, impermanence is a characteristic of every condition, every situation you will ever encounter in your life. It will change, disappear, or no longer satisfy you. Impermanence is also central to Jesus' teaching. You do not lay up for yourself treasures on earth where moth and rust consume and where thieves break in and steal. As long as a condition is judged as good by your mind, whether it be a relationship, a possession, a social role, a place, or your physical body, the mind attaches itself to it and identifies with it. It makes you happy, makes you feel good about yourself, and it may become part of who you are or think you are. But nothing lasts in this dimension where moth and rust consume. Either it ends or it changes, or it may undergo a polarity shift. The same condition that was good yesterday or last year has suddenly or gradually turned into bad. The same condition that made you happy then makes you unhappy. The prosperity of today becomes the empty consumerism of tomorrow. The happy wedding and honeymoon become the unhappy divorce or the unhappy coexistence. Or a condition disappears, so its absence makes you unhappy. When a condition or situation that the mind has attached itself to and identified with changes or disappears, the mind cannot accept it. It will cling to the disappearing condition and resist the change. It is almost as if a limb were being torn off your body.
So, what are we understanding from this? What are we humans into? Tell me something. We're never ready to accept. Today, your child is small, you're waiting for him to grow up. Once he's grown up, you're like, oh, I'll miss the old days. And the baby has become, the child has become a recluse, doesn't connect with me. And you're not there for the person. When they grow older, we never accept it, always in the past or the future. And whenever whatever is not there is something that we're aching for. because we're not enjoying the present moment in its totality. We are just trying to go in the past or the future. We're not having goals for ourselves. We're not attached to our goals and we are not taking charge of our life. We are just seeing about what's disappearing and what's appearing. We're not even enjoying the flow of life. So now, when something is not there, its absence makes us so unhappy that we're completely thrown off balance. And then we are lamenting, grieving, talking about it. Oh, this is not there. Oh, that's not there. And then what are we doing? We are in a vicious circle of complaints. Complaints will attract many more complaints in your life. So please learn to accept, be grateful for what you have, and embrace the present in its true totality the way it is right now without complaining. Yeah, let's talk about this more.
We sometimes hear of people who have lost all their money or whose reputation has been ruined committing suicide. Those are the extreme cases. Others, whenever a major loss of one kind or another occurs, just become deeply unhappy or make themselves ill. They cannot distinguish between their life and their life situation. I recently read about a famous actress who died in her 80s. As her beauty started to fade and became ravaged by old age, she grew desperately unhappy and became a recluse. She, too, had identified with a condition, her external appearance. First, the condition gave her a happy sense of self, then an unhappy one. If she had been able to connect with the formless and timeless life within, she could have watched and allowed the fading of her external form from a place of serenity and peace. Moreover, her external form would have become increasingly transparent to the light shining through from her ageless true nature. So her beauty would not really have faded, but simply become transformed into spiritual beauty. However, nobody told her that this is possible. The most essential kind of knowledge is not yet widely accessible.
So let's understand we are all running after a life of impermanence. Have you ever seen some elders who've had great days in their young days, financially amazing, physically, bodily amazing, all the time talking about the past days? Why do they do that? Because they're living in the past, in the glorious past, and thinking, oh, those were the days. आज वो दिन कहाँ? That was the golden era. आज वो time कहाँ? आज golden era नहीं है. Why? Today you have, in fact, there were times you compare so much good has happened in this world. Technology has come in beautifully. It's just amazing. Everything has good and everything has a bad side. What good are we embracing? Yes, absolutely, Akshay. They don't like the present because they haven't embraced the present. Now they're complaining about laptops, mobile phones. Yes, and they have all the right in the world to complain because we, as a younger generation, have not tried to switch off the laptops and mobile phones when we're around them. Why can't we, as responsible citizens and adults and as family beings, just keep our gadgets away when we are with them? Why do we have to keep looking into them all the time? Why is the oneness not there? Because you're busy in your internal phone or your laptop. So please, let's start living life around us. We are all the time behind the camera or in that little world of ours, not realizing what are we missing here. What is making us unhappy and giving us a feeling of not being there. Let's embrace whatever's happening. This lady that we're talking about right now, it's very important to hear what she's gone through. She wasn't told that she can embrace her beauty and it will be transformed into spiritual beauty. She wasn't told that one can reverse age. She wasn't told, but all of us know it, right? So it's very, very important for us to realize where we are heading in our journey. Connect with the formless and timeless life within. What does it mean? Connect with the formless means what? Everything has a form, Shelly, right? Everything has a form. But if we connect with everything with the way it is, there's oneness, everything is great. And if it's not time dependent, it's not form dependent, then you have a deep, deep connection. Whatever's coming in your life, you're accepting it. It's not like कि ऐसा होगा तो I will be happy. ये मैं ऐसे दिखूंगी तो I will be happy. अगर ऐसा हो जाता है इस टाइम तक तो मेरा खुशी का पारा is the next level. Otherwise, I'm not happy. So if you are connected all the time about time goals, about form goals, then that means you can't accept this external appearance going on all the time. And if you have external appearance as your main goal, how can you, the self, be happy? You will be unhappy because you're all the time dependent upon people. You've allowed people to, people or your own form to become center stage. How can you find peace when you're all the time looking? That's why they say that even if you want to connect something, you want to achieve something in life, whatever little you have of that right now, be grateful for that. For example, I want to become a millionaire, but right now I have debt. But I have to be grateful that at least I have the money to, I have had people to invest in my business, whether it's banks or people who are giving loan. I am grateful for that. And then see your debts fade away because you accept them with a gratitude of note. So that is what it means, that don't be so human driven or form driven or time driven that you forget the beauty of now. Enjoy everything in totality right now. The most essential kind of knowledge is not yet widely accessible. What is that? Spirituality. What is spirituality? Just living in a world of light, just living in a world of love. Today we are now we'll talk about the next section after you and I have understood this point. Any more questions? Yes, thank you, Shelly, for understanding. Let's understand we need to feel that oneness. Until we feel that feeling of oneness, nothing can happen. Why is it that there are mostly parents are all about their own children? What about the other children? There's no oneness, right? I'm not saying you will not have a more familiarity with your own child. Obviously, you will. You will not be talking about somebody else's professional goals all the time. But how about raising the consciousness and feeling that sense of oneness? The minute we do that, we are in a position where we're embracing life in its true spiritual being. What are we? We have been given a life. We have chosen ourselves as a woman, as a man, born in this country, of this particular color, going to this particular family, because we want to advance our spiritual goals. But the spiritual goal has one beautiful quality, and that quality is oneness. The minute we understand that, we will accept it for who it is. Let's take a minute silence and let's close our eyes. I am one with life. I'm not limited to any kind of time travel, any kind of form. I embrace whatever I'm going through right now, being in the power of now. I'm grateful for it. I acknowledge it. I accept it. And my life drama is becoming minimal every single day because I trust the process of life. And so it is. Yes, Bhuvan, let's read further about what our Buddha is talking to us about Dukh and Sukh. Yes.
The Buddha taught that even your happiness is dukh, a Pali word meaning suffering or unsatisfactoriness. It is inseparable from its opposite. This means that your happiness and unhappiness are in fact one. Only the illusion of time separates them. This is not being negative. It is simply recognizing the nature of things so that you don't pursue an illusion for the rest of your life. Nor is it saying that you should no longer appreciate pleasant or beautiful things or conditions, but to seek something through them that they cannot give: an identity, a sense of permanency, and fulfillment, is a recipe for frustration and suffering. The whole advertising industry and consumer society would collapse if people became enlightened and no longer sought to find their identity through things. The more you seek happiness in this way, the more it will elude you. Nothing out there will ever satisfy you except temporarily and superficially. but you may need to experience many disillusionments before you realize that truth. Things and conditions can give you pleasure, but they will also give you pain. Things and conditions, but they cannot give you joy. Nothing can give you joy. Joy is uncaused and arises from within as the joy of being. It is an essential part of the inner state of peace, the state that has been called the peace of God. It is your natural state, not something that you need to work hard for or struggle to attain. Many people never realize that there can be no salvation in anything that they do, possess, or attain. Those who do realize it often become world weary and depressed. If nothing can give you true fulfillment, what is there left to strive for? What is the point in anything? The Old Testament prophet must have arrived at such a realization when he wrote, I have seen everything that is done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and a striving after wind. When you reach this point, you are one step away from despair and one step away from enlightenment.
So let's understand. Our very own Buddha is talking about dukkha. Dukkha and sukha, the sides of the coin, right? They have to coexist. They can't not exist together. Similarly, negative and positive, they coexist, whether you realize or whether you don't. Anything like love and hate together. Anything with less of love will become hate. So they are going to be balancing themselves. Either you realize that everything is normal, then it's great. If it's not, then some other element will come up. Now, as you and me physically, as humans, we're trying to up our game of life. This car, that property, this fairness cream, that oil, this salt, this, it's all about consumerism. And this is a huge $1 trillion market. Why? Because we are being told time and again by these marketing strategies that, okay, if you do this, you become better. And none of us are realizing that we are whole and complete in ourselves. And the way we follow our life with love and joy, we have everything within ourselves. We're looking for things outside. Now, we are getting stimulated from outside stuff. It gives us pleasure, gives us joy. If it's giving you joy, which you're enjoying, great. But if it's giving you stress to enjoy that thing, then it's tough. For example, you want to buy something and you're like, oh, I have to earn so much. Oh, I have to earn so much. For this, I have to work so hard. Now that is not a right angle. But if you're working hard, which feels like working easy because you're loving your work, it's you're flowing in your work, and then money is coming and then you're buying stuff, oh, more power to you. Then you're coming from a world of inner state of peace. But if there's stress, anxiety, and oh my God moments, ye nahi hua, ye nahi hua, then there's stress. And then no matter how hard you work, no matter how much you struggle, you'll never be able to feel the peace. You'll never realize salvation. You'll never realize enlightenment. You will never realize what life is guiding you towards. So let's try and be the people who start saying the good things. So again, I talked about power of words. What power of words are we using? If I all the time keep saying, oh, I'm busy, oh, I'm busy, oh, I'm busy, then I will never have time in the world for anything. So if I, like, when people call me up, for example, Prachi, I need a favor, I must have said this before, I always message back and say, consider it done. I don't know what she or he is going to ask me, but I know it's possible. Or when they call me and they say, okay, are you busy? I say, no, I'm not. So when I say I'm busy, it's because I'm trying to deviate talking to that person because I know some negative vibes are coming. I can read sometimes and I just say, okay, this is where I don't want to be. Otherwise, I told my mom yesterday, Mom, I have all the time in the world to do. What do I do? She's like, where do you have time? I said, I have all the time in the world. And because I keep saying I have all the time in the world, I actually have all the time in the world. Why? Because time is saying, oh, she respects me. Yeah? I better respect her. She says I have all the time in the world, so more abundance to her. Jo karna kar lo. So people say you have 48 hours in a day. I said, yeah, I do. And I always have. I have time for myself. That's different thing than I'm sidetracked all the time. And not every day is a great day. And that's okay. That's how life is. Not every day can be a great day. You will have ups and downs. That's what you realize. One day is beautiful. The other day was averageish, because even I allowed enjoy being in the average world. So let's understand, we are coming in a zone of acceptance. The most important thing is acceptance. If we accept everything as it is, then there's nothing like dukh or sukh. Then there's nothing like despair, or there's nothing like, then you're in harmony, and then you're coming closer to enlightenment. Let's read further.
A Buddhist monk once told me, all I have learned in the 20 years that I have been a monk, I can sum up in one sentence. All that arises passes away. This I know. What he meant, of course, was this: I have learned to offer no resistance to what is. I have learned to allow the present moment to be and to accept the impermanent nature of all things and conditions. Thus have I found peace. To offer no resistance to life is to be in a state of grace, ease, and lightness. This state is then no longer dependent upon things being in a certain way, good or bad. It seems almost paradoxical, yet, when your inner dependency on form is gone, the general conditions of your life, the outer forms, tend to improve greatly. Things, people, or conditions that you thought you needed for your happiness now come to you with no struggle or effort on your part, and you are free to enjoy and appreciate them while they last. All those things, of course, will still pass away. Cycles will come and go, but with dependency gone, there is no fear of loss anymore. Life flows with ease.
So, how many of us can actually adopt all of this which is being said? When we embrace everything the way it is, without judging it, without labeling it, without wanting a change in it, and we think, okay, this is what I manifest, but I accept this right now the way it is. The minute I do that, it is so beautiful. My life's quality will improve so dramatically, so beautifully, because life will say, oh, she respects me. Oh, she loves me the way I am. Let me give her a more quality of life. Kabhi aise hua hai, kabhi, I don't know how many of you are professionals or giving some kind of service, and people say, I completely trust you. आप जो बोलोगे वो perfect है, and आपको जो करना है best कर दो. And then you will do your, for example, I'm a jeweler. I just see Ajay and Anju's pop up. For example, I'm a jeweler, and Ankur comes and tells me, Prachi, जो भी आप jewelry बनाओगे for my wife, I love it. I will go out of my way to design for his wife and put in the best quality of diamonds and gems possible. I will give a better part of me because you say you trust me. I can't break your trust. And that's how life is. If you're telling time, oh, I have all the time in the world, time will say, okay, I have all the time in the world. And you're not in a hurry. I'm not in a hurry. I'll give you the best quality you want. When I say that, my life, my qualities life is amazing. Oh, my life will say, she's saying I'm amazing, so let me give her more. Learn to appreciate. We've been talking about the attitude of gratitude. It's time to implement them in our own life. Stop saying the words, oh, I'm tired. Stop saying it. You may be tired, okay. Stop saying it. Just say today was a day where yeah, okay. I need more energy. Okay, fine. So there's a one way of saying I'm tired can also be I need more energy. When you're saying I need more energy, energy will come to you. And that's when life will start flowing with ease. So learn to appreciate, learn to stop getting dependent on things. What you're saying from your mouth, what you're thinking from your mind, or feeling from your heart is what is manifesting. Stop saying I'm struggling. Stop saying I'm making too much of effort. Start using the words that I flow. Things come to me so easily. Whatever I think comes to me. I'm always encouraged to do something new in my life, and life is so beautiful. Please learn the power of words. आप क्या बोल रहे हैं उससे depend कर रहा है what's happening in your life. Remember, it's the joy of being, the joy of living, the joy of giving. Discover these joys. When you discover these joys and you live in the present moment with your totality, life is going to give you so much more. Life is a gift. Start saying that. And then you keep unwrapping the gifts. Oh, so many gifts are coming your way. And then you'll have a deep sense of peace. And believe me, in that world, you'll be able to create so much more. Not only for not only for yourself, but for society and for the world around you. Remember one thing, always learn to invest in yourself and life. When you invest in it beautifully, when you accept everything the way it's coming, cycles coming up and down, things are happening, they're going and coming. Then there's impermanence of things, you know that, right? So why are we so dependent on them? When you have a fear, the fear comes true. If I have a fear of burglary, the burglar will find my house out of all because that's how it's going to be. But if I'm saying, oh, I'm always safe and secured, so it is. If I keep saying, oh, my aura is such that I know I will not attract COVID, so it is. And if I say, no, I don't want to go for vaccination because I know I'm safe and secured, okay, so it is. What are we saying? What are we driving? What is a secondary source? The primary source depends upon us. Remember, life is a reflection of your being. What are you being right now in? What are you resonating right now in? If you're resonating in something which has low energy, it's only you who can feel that energy. And how do you feel that energy? By simply opening your arms like this and asking the universe for whatever you need. So right now you're tired. Rather than saying, I am tired, I'm sick, I'm tired, I'm sick, what do you say? I invoke energy, I invoke feeling, vitality and freshness. That's it. Ask, believe, receive. Manga kabhi kisi ne. If you're not happy and you want to be at peace, all you have to ask is, I need peace. And so it is. This is what today's learning is all about. Let's learn this, let's accept it, let's imbibe it. And now let's have a minute silence. I trust the process of life. I'm not limited by time and form. I'm limitless, boundless in my life, in the things I do, and the way I take life ahead. Life is truly worth living, and I live it, I love it every moment. I give it my best, and it gives me the best. And that's our partnership. So it is. Now, how does it feel when you say such words? Are you any longer dependent upon anybody but yourself? All of a sudden, the power lies with us because we are power. The fact is, nobody else is going to give us power except ourselves. You all are, whoever's locked down right now, how many ever people you are, 50 plus people here. You have taken the journey forward for all of these days by being committed to your mornings. And that is the reason why so much of difference has come to your life. Why? Because you have said, no, not the things haven't changed. Okay, you've partied some days and you've not come in the morning, then that's also fine. You're okay with it. But by and large, your commitment has been amazing. So you found the difference. Look at the people who have just wavered and not come. They were not ready for the ascension, so they haven't come. So now it's important for you to understand that you have come in this journey because of your commitment. So thank you for this. Thank you for coming every morning. Now the days to this course are coming to an end, but believe me, your life is coming to a beginning. This is where the beginning happens. You will learn and live with whatever you've learned so beautifully every morning. And that's how your life is going to be. So more power to everyone. You feel powerful because you are power. And you're finding the power in your morning readings. So thanks to these beautiful authors who come every single morning and give us a beautiful dose of life, which makes us life so much more better. So thank you for this. Thank you for this beautiful sharing. Thank you, Rahul sir, for showcasing this book. We'll now move on to our heart thoughts. Would someone like to volunteer? Jitendraji, will you want to read the heart thoughts? And I'm so amazed and grateful to Jitendraji. I mean, I like it when people are so committed, doing things beautifully, proactive, learning, making a difference in their life. It's just amazing. And Bhavan, thank you for reading so well. I wonder why you don't read very often. Your voice has so much of power, so much of calmness. It's amazing. Thank you for this. Thank you so much. Today is about unity. I am one with everyone on the planet. We are on the cutting edge of a new consciousness awakening for the whole planet. Do we all know this? I've said about this. We are all awakening our consciousness, taking it to the next level by being aware of our consciousness. No, we are aware. And now, this collective consciousness that we as a Sangh are doing, we are awakening ourselves and the whole planet. What's happening? Now, Ankita will find a little change in herself. She will tell that to somebody, like Akshay, for example. He was a friend of mine, like we just knew each other from BC. I didn't even know actually. And he found a little thing, and he came in the morning batches of first 10, 12 days. He invited his siblings, his family, and just say he is the reason, the channel for change in so many lives. Now, when I look at Akshay, I look at Ankita, I look at Shelly, I look at Poonam, I look at Sanya, Rigu, Naveen. How are these coming? What channel is it? Ultimately, they can thank me, whatever. But who's the source? Akshay. So he's the reason why so much awakening is happening. There's so many families here. One person has triggered the change. And there's so many of us who don't, for example, I would talk about Olono and Salish. They triggered the change for so many lives in their families. So many people are here. And there are some of us who just limit ourselves to just our awakening. Mera aaj kalyan ho gaya. Oh, I'm amazed. How about the kalyan of the others? That's the next part. How far are you willing to expand the horizons of your thinking? How far? Do you want to be the channel for love and light? Do you want to feel that oneness, that unity? Okay, I've had it. Let me do for the others. And let me take an integrity check. Just merely introducing your friends and family to the course, will it make a difference? But if you're committed to asking him or her, boss, why aren't you coming? Why aren't you coming? Okay, today we learned this. Okay, today this is accountable. If you take ownership for somebody else, that is when unity happens. Unity in the real sense. The 5 fingers fit the perfect 5 fingers and they're unshakable. Today's beautiful messages, I am one with everyone on the planet. How wonderful. Yes, Jitendra ji. Please read. No, sir, you've changed the page. Yes, please.
I think there is one infinite spirit, and there are human beings who have the opportunity to use the intelligence and wisdom.
Wait a minute, Jitendra ji. We are on this chapter called Unity. I do not believe in 2 powers.
Yeah. I read this again. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I do not believe in 2 powers of good and evil. I think there is one infinite spirit, and there are human beings who have the opportunity to use the intelligence and wisdom and tools they have been given in every way. When you talk about them, you are always talking about us, because we are the people, we are the government, we are the churches, and we are the planet. The place to begin making changes is right where we are. I think it is all too easy to say it's the devil, it's them. It really is always us.
How wonderful. Thank you so much. So now this beautiful message has come to all of us, telling us in the very beautiful morning that we are one infinite spirit. So all of us have one spirit. We're resonating in one spirit. And what's the spirit? We're united in a purpose of raising a consciousness. We as human beings are evolving. Jitendra ji, how evolved have you become in these past 120, 110, 112 days? What's the difference you found? Did somebody push you in your batch? Or did you self-push yourself? Okay. So I asked a question, didn't get an answer, but that's absolutely okay. Yeah. But
No, yes, I got major changes.
And वो किसकी वजह से हुआ? आपकी वजह से हुआ ना?
Yes. Yeah, आपकी वजह से, सबकी वजह से.
नहीं, so because आप committed थे आने में session में. You want to take back from it. अगर आप धीरे पड़ जाते तो नहीं आपकी commitment आती, नहीं होता, right?
Yes, definitely.
So thank you so much for saying. So now I am one with everyone on this planet. When I feel that oneness, when I'm ready to evolve, when I'm ready to raise my consciousness, that is when I'm awakening. And this session is so beautiful. This day is so beautiful. It's all about unity. And when we feel ourselves unified with everything, that's when magics happen. So more power to us as a Sangha. Anything you want to meditate about, any particular thing you want me to talk about in the meditation, please let Nisha is the one who always gives me something to meditate on. But of course, anybody wants anything, let me know. All right. Peace, oneness. I'll cover both. I'll cover oneness and peace. Let's all close our eyes. Contentment, yes. A soft smile on our faces. Our backs absolutely straight. Let's inhale love. Feel the love pulsating in your body. Gently exhale it. Feel the oneness of your mind, body, and soul as you inhale. One with the world, one with yourself, one with your mind where you listen, one with your body where you listen. And as you exhale, one with yourself and the world. Inhale peace and contentment. I am at peace. I am contented. Exhale it, share your peace and share your content with the world. I am a channel of love and light. I am peace. I'm joy. I'm one. I'm content. I am life. I am power. Whatever I say comes true. I think about whatever I have to say. I'm conscious. I'm increasing my consciousness every day by being in the power of now. I'm realizing that acceptance is the biggest key. The more I accept, the more I flow. The more I respect, the more respect I get. I respect all virtues and I am endowed with all of those virtues. I invite all things magnetic in my life because I know I am the power. My life is full of abundance. I am more abundant mindfully, heartfully, spiritually, intellectually, emotionally. Because I am committed to increasing my life's quality, to taking it to the next level, to being the channel of raising consciousness in the planet because we are all united as one. One within ourselves, one with outside people, one with all of Mother Earth. I am joyful and content in life because the minute I'm content, I'm attracting so much more that makes me even more content. These are the emotions and feelings that I'm resonating at. I'm joyful. I'm peaceful. I'm life. Every day I invest in myself and thinking good, reading good, understanding. And that triggers off the day in its space where everything joyful happens. I'm living a life of increased consciousness, and I know every drop makes a difference. I am leading Mother Earth on a higher ascension to go to the higher dimension. This is my journey, and I acknowledge it, I embrace it, and I take it forward. Life is magical because I am magical. Because now I'm a believer in the power of love and light. I'm dropping all possible ego. I'm dropping all possible shams. I embrace life in totality, whether it's ups and downs. They're all a part of my spiritual evolution. I thank all the downs because they're teaching me a beautiful life lesson. And I am a learner. If something negative happens, I know that I have attracted that lesson in my life. And it's only on me to find the learning. Otherwise, it'll repeat itself again, giving me more pain. And then I will be forced to learn that lesson. So I am vigilant, I'm open and receptive to learning, to growing as a person, as a human, as a spiritual being. I am ready for this beautiful life of mine. And so it is. Let's bow down our heads in gratitude towards Mother Earth. Dear Mother Earth, I am grounded in you, thanks to you. And the roots from my souls are growing deeper, bigger, wider in you. Today I request for 3 virtues from you. Please bless me, empower me with them. Let me be content. Let me feel the unity, the oneness, and let me be at peace. Whatever I accomplish in life, whether it's met my standards or not, let me be content. And so it is. I am content. I am joy. I am one. I feel the oneness. I feel being content. I am content. Wherever I turn, prosperity follows. Whatever I manifest gets manifested, keeping in mind the highest best for me and the others. I am life. I am time. I am power. I am me. And thank you, Mother Earth, for generating these beautiful emotions in me. Thank you for being a giver. You're truly a Janani Janmabhoomi. Thank you for giving me so much. Now I spread my angel heart and I thank my life that I've lived in the past, life or lives. Thank you for the experiences, for whatever I've gone through. I am today because of them. So thank you to all the goods and thank you to all the bads. I invited each one and I'm today in acceptance and in harmony. My today is beautiful and my tomorrow is magical because I'm elevated in my consciousness. Now let's thank the universe above by being in the abundant pose. Dear universe, thank you for having our backs. Dear life, thank you for having our back. Dear cosmos, thank you for including us in your Leela. Dear divinities, thank you for all the time blessing us with the choicest of blessings. Dear angels, thank you for showing me that I am on the right path. Dear guardians, thank you for guarding us with all your might. How blessed each one of us is, truly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's fold our hands together and be grateful for everything from universe to earth below. Let's be mindful, heartful, and thankful for our wonderful body. Let's rub our hands together and bless every part of it. Let's bless our conscious, subconscious, thank it for restructuring, reprogramming, unlearning, and learning. How wonderful. Our eyes for seeing all things beautiful. Our ears for hearing all things wonderful. Our mouth for saying all things fabulous. We are the blessed one. And so it is. Let's bless our neck, our esophagus that takes spiritual energy and food inside us, our shoulders that are light, our energy that is light, our hands that are beautiful, Our back that supports us, which has our back, truly, literally. Our backbone, spinal cord, our hips, our lungs, our chest, our heart, our liver, stomach, intestines, gallbladder, uterus, kidneys, sexual organs, excretory organs, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and definitely our souls from where we're rooted. Let's come back up again, fold our hands. Dearest, beautiful body, I respect you. I love you. I understand you. And I listen to you. Thank you for working on your optimal best with all the body organs being in unison, in unity. To all the muscles, tissues, fibers, glands, bones, and skin, I am grateful for your functioning. Trillions of cells in the blood circulation system in my body. Thank you for being so seamless. And to the energy that flows in me, thank you for keeping me energetic, vibrating at a higher frequency. I'm truly ready for the ascension. And dear energy, please bless my hands as I invoke you to spread the love, light, healing blessings, and abundance-full wishes for my loved Sangha, their loved beings, and all beings on Mother Earth. Let there be light, let there be love, let there be happiness, let there be joy, let there be oneness. Let us all be unified as one. Sanya, Hinaji, Nikita, Rigu, Naveen, Mitu, Bhuvan, Chikisha, Prakash, Kavita, Rima, Gyanji, Ushaji, Nisha, Mudita, Pratimaji, Anju, Shami, Ankur, Parul, Sakshi, Vandana, Harpreet, Jitendraji, Parul Gupta, Alona, Akshay, Ankur, Shubhra, Shivani, Asmeet, Ankita, Mom, Prachi, Rohiniji, Alifya, Radhika, Amit, Peena, Bon Mandu One for Life, Kripa Hirani, Prashant, Richa Sachdev, Rahul Sir, Ritesh Sir, Sanjay Sir, Amrita, and Shweta. Thank you, thank you, thank you. May you all be blessed. Lots of love, light, and abundance to each one of you. Let's see each other tomorrow at 5. Until then, take care. Lots of love.